Greetings to you. I'm Lucinda Harmon, aka the Growth Catalyst. Now, I've got 36 years sales experience across almost every platform in the medical industry. Whether it's consumables, it's X-ray, it's veterinary, it's radiology, it's whatever you can imagine, from cardiothoracic to vascular to orthopedic, right through from consumables to whatever you can imagine. I've been there, done it, got the t-shirt, and I've got my 36 years behind me. So we've now had 4 sessions in total for sales mastery, and this being the 4th and last session. Now, you've only been privy to get the recorded actual content that I've actually been giving out there, but you've missed out on the experiential side, which is critical to development. It's when you do those exercises with people around you and you do the role playing and you come back and reflect and you find areas of improvement while you've facilitated me in the room with you. That's where you see this growth, as the Growth Catalyst does best. You thrive. So for those companies out there, they're looking for somebody to do the training for their sales force. I'm the go-to person. And I'm going to bring out that exciting, it's a new training, a new business model is coming out that I'll be sharing shortly. But for now, today, we are going to be dealing with the final session on price wars. Price wars. We know what that looks like and we know what it feels like. You think you got a good price, and then guess what? Your competitor goes and cuts down, shaves off, gives extra bibs and bobs, and suddenly you're nowhere, and the clients have left you, and off they go, and you've lost your client. So we're going to recap. We did this in Product Wars. If you haven't had the session, go back in my YouTube, and you'll find the session before this is on Product Wars. And I'm first going to differentiate, like I did with the first session, in case someone is only watching this for the first time. This is the unpaid version, so you won't get the exercises. You might get an odd bits and pieces, but otherwise, jump on a call with me, ask me to come to your company, even wherever you are, whether it's online or face-to-face, and I'll come and do these sessions for you live in front of you, either online or face-to-face. So what is a price war? Today's competitive business environment means that companies and sales representatives are faced with product and price wars like never before. It is way more aggressive. It's way more competitive out there. And people will do what it takes to get the sales because people have got to eat and they don't want to trench and fire staff. So what do, they have to up the game with price and product wars. When businesses aggressively compete to dominate through pricing strategies and differentiated products, ba-bum, that is when you've hit onto the nerve of a price and a product war. So what we're doing today is the overview, like I'm taking you through now. We'll go through it shortly. I'll take you further through it. Understanding the dynamics of price wars, identify the causes and effects of this war on businesses, and learn strategies to navigate and succeed in such competitive environments. Give me a thumbs up. Sound good? I think it sounds very good. The part you're going to miss out, because this part was in the actual live session, which I do, is activities, tasks, and evaluation. That is the gold. That is what you want to be part of. So today, what will you gain? Strategies to identify and analyze competitor products quickly, just like that. Strategies to navigate those price wars, how to get through them, how to get around them, how to twist, how to bend. Thrive when faced with these wars. Most people freeze and get scared and overwhelmed and go quiet and put the tail between the legs and go, off they go and they get scared. Confidence to identify a price war quickly, ability to navigate through them, and a confidence to establish your own action plan. That's the gold, is that you are going to be so rehearsed, so confident with this, because it's not going to go away. You've got to work around this and with this, because it's not going to go away. If you want to do it in an ethical and a way of integrity and good values, You've got to learn this. Actually, the strategy is about how to get around them without doing dirty tricks and those things that we don't like to see in the industry. And they actually are played a little too quickly. So what are product and price wars? We have been through this before. We'll do the product war because today we're actually focusing on the price war. A product war is when you're competing by differentiating your products or features to win a market or your market share. So that's your nice pie. And now you want to take a segment of somebody's pie. That is when you are going to do what it takes to take from somebody else. You want a bit of what they have. Now, what are you going to do to get the product out of their hands and into your hands? That's the product war. What are you going to do differently? How are you going to stand up for your competitors? And how are you going to make your products more attractive and add more value to your customer? In a price war, which we're doing today, you're competing by lowering the price to outdo your competitors. You're going to be competing by lowering your price to outdo your competitors. And I'm also going to say you're going to do a lot of frills and add-ons and all those little fluffy sweeteners. I always call them the popcorn and candy floss, little parts and bips and bobs you're going to add onto this, okay? So you're going to make sure that your product looks way more pleasing, and you feel like you're getting a great deal and that you've won out the deal and nobody else has given you a deal like that. That's the price war. So why do they occur? Why? Tell me, why do they occur? What I'm telling you here is not everything today. So you can put it in the chat box. You tell me if you get it on LinkedIn. Tell me why does a price war occur or product war? We're still kind of between the two at the moment, and then we'll break out totally onto the price war. Market saturation. There are too many players in the market. Too many people fighting for that disposable suture, the disposable staplers into that particular private hospital group. There are too many players in a state hospital. There are too many people, and people have gone for those tenders, and there are too many people fighting even that won a tender, or they're on a statutory, or their preferred supplier, but there are too many of you. So how does the decision maker choose between you? Because the market is too saturated. There are too many people fighting for the same parts of that pie. The other reason why they occur is the competitors' aggressive tactics. Oh, wow. I've seen the tactics are getting more and more extreme as we go on each decade, the beautiful days when I started in 1990. Oh, these things were missing. They were nowhere, or 1989, actually. These things were nowhere, but they're getting, 1990s to 2000 to 2010 to 2020, 25. And now we're sitting with tactics of note. There are times that I just go out there and I can see them a mile away and I go, oh boy, here we come. No matter where I am, no matter what I'm doing, whether I'm looking at a magazine or when I'm reading something on Facebook and I'm seeing a pop-up message or someone selling something, I look at how far and what people will do in order to get business. And these competitor aggressive tactics are very notable. They sugarcoat them. They try and make them soft and cuddly, but you can see straight through them when you experience sales professional like me. So the other reason they exist is because of the consumer demand for lower prices and better value. The consumer dictates because they're buying your product. So you've got to make sure that that person that's buying believes they're getting it for the best price. And even if they're not getting it for the best price, that they're getting the best value. And if they're not getting the best value, but you ideally want best value and price, because then you're going to have happy customers, and the word of mouth works way better than any marketing will ever be able to do. And that's what you're after. So lower prices is all about, if you add on a voucher here, and you add on, like, if I'll think about like going to go and buy a Samsung cell phone right now in South Africa, and they'll give you a watch, and they'll give you a 1,000 Rand voucher to Woolworths, and they'll give you this, and they'll give you those buds for your ears. They'll give you all sorts of things. And when you put it all together, it looks very nice. The value, the packed on, is looking really great. Another reason why they occur is the technological advancements and innovation. Now, you can see in medical the changes. Veterinary, it has been extreme in the last years. It's just series after series is changing per brand. It's just moving and moving, and that technology is advancing so fast. That's why a cell phone outdates within 2 years. A lot of technology around us, the medical devices that in medical technology, pathology is advancing at such a rate that if you don't keep up and you're not trained, you don't do training like this, you're not keeping yourself sharp, yourself fit, you're not thinking out the box, which this is going to try and stretch you to do, is think out the box. Stop just having a product that is just a product, black and white on a piece of paper, and it's just this boring monologue. You've got to create something that stands out at you, grabs your attention. It's got to show technology, excitement, the buzz, the aha factor, all those incredible things. What I said in the last session about KFC. It wasn't just chicken. It is just chicken that was created to be sold by Colonel Sanders. But at the end of the day, it's a chicken that's spiced up and it's got a special recipe and it's got all things. And you're thinking, doesn't matter when I get the chicken. I just want that chicken, and I want the bucket of chicken because it's on special and it's better, and I'm having something that's unique, and no other chicken out there tastes like this chicken. So technology advancement, innovation, you've got to be thinking out the box at all times, no matter what product you have. Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what you are selling. You've got to start thinking out the box. So maybe I'll give you one of my many success stories. When I changed a product that I was told to sell to X doctor or X hospital or X person, and it ended up going to a whole nother 7 area fields within medical that nobody ever thought of, not even the manufacturer. And that's the beauty and the strength of becoming innovative on your feet. Now, we're going to look at a price wars case study. So get a pen and paper, get it ready. Stop. Stop, pause, and then go grab that pen and paper, because now we're going to start doing the work. So a case study today, I felt like actually doing, I think, Clicks versus Discim, Apple versus Samsung. Choose whatever you want, because if I choose a medical, I'm going to confuse you. If I go and choose a brand, I might get on the wrong side of one brand. So we'll keep away from those brands, but you've got Clicks and Discim, and I guess for you having people from pharmaceuticals actually watching this anyway. So we're all good to go. So let's just for today, let's just take Clicks and Discount. Why don't we? I've just done a little bit of Samsung's. You saw what was going on there. Samsung's had to be extremely aggressive in order to try and fight in that iPad Apple industry. It's very difficult. And Steve Jobs did a remarkable job of setting a brand that was so attractive. That was like, if you are made and you've got it's a status symbol to own an Apple iPad, all of that kind of, all that his entire area that he created, that entire package that he created. So we've learned that Samsung then had to get really thinking on their feet, because they just had a Samsung, but they had to create something really cool, the pods and the watch and all these extras and more apps and more offerings within Samsung, cloud space, whatever they were doing, trying to compete with the likes of the Apple, trying to steal some Apple back, or not even Apple back, but they wanted some of the Apple people that had moved to Apple, the customers of Apple iPad. But let's stay now with Clicks and Discount. So where you are right now, we would do this in a real time. We'd be working in a facilitated where you would all be working in twos or in groups, smaller groups, depending on how many people are in the room for that particular session. But I want you to think about what strategies has Clicks and Discount used as far as price wars go. What strategy do you think Clicks and Discount has used? Think about the slide before. What was the outcome? And what can you learn? So when you sit and think about this, you're lucky because now we're not live. You can stop it, pause it, think. Let's discuss it for a minute. I'll give you some thoughts to think about. So Clicks versus Discount, 2 very big players in South Africa in retail pharmacy. Huge. And even now we saw all the other retailers like the Pick and Pays and Checkers and all these others deciding to also start doing pretty much what Clicks and Discount have kind of done too. More people actually hurting the individual pharmacists, which is actually very sad to see pharmacies close, because these big companies have come in like these motherships that just transcended on earth and sucked up all the business. Loyalty points, loyalty cards. You can't beat that. because people want all the time to winning points, and because it links to something called Discovery Insurance or Discovery Health, which is our insurance in South Africa, one of the big ones, Discovery, and you probably know it across the world. That even you can buy shares in Discovery. That's how huge it is. They dominate very strongly, and you can get points for both of these retailers. So what strategies did they use? They took themselves away from the market saturation. You can't play with them because they've got themselves out, but you definitely see a line between people that go, I'm very for Dis-Chem, or I'm very for Clicks. And it's interesting how people see that and where they're located and situated, like where there's a Dis-Chem and a Clicks in one shopping center, one mall, and you ask people, why do you go there? Because I ask these questions. I want to know. I love to get the mind of buyers, consumers. I like to understand the customers, why they're buying there. And especially a big dispute that happened at Dis-Chem, it hurt them. You know that there was a whole part of market that wouldn't go to Dis-Chem, and they had to try and recover from that. People would never forgive them for what they did, relating to a labor dispute issue that came up. So the competitor aggressive tactics, well, that's for sure. They both have nurses. Most of them have nursing sisters on site. They can do vaccines. They can do your tests. They can do whatever you need, whatever you want. Can do diabetic checks, whatever you want to do. They normally both have those also up and running. So they've got the competitor aggressive tactics. If you watch them very carefully, you will see the specials hit. And if you go in and I use a product I use that is in both. I will go and check both to see who's got the special and who doesn't. And I buy from the one that does have the special and I don't go to the other. But all the time they're vying for that position. I must say, most of the time, Dis-Chem has the edge for me in price, in the specials, and the aggression tactics. Very, very often, they are flying for me higher, at a higher standard than a Clicks in South Africa. So the consumer demand for lower prices and better value, well, there you go. Just look at those incredible. If you go into any of those stores, go and open any of their shops anyway, go and see they've always got this, what do you call those things, like not a newspaper, but an inside newspaper they give out to you with specials and what's going on and what you can get. And if you can get better price, come here and we'll outdo you here. I know for Clicks, if I get a better price and I go Dis-Chem, they have to lower the price there. So they are aggressively going at it, full tilt and on the prices. So you know that they're watching each other all the time, and they are playing and thinking about the time at the end of the month, or when people are being paid, and different people, maybe state people are paid mid-month, and end of month is more your private companies and your big corporates are paying staff. So they're watching all the time to lower those prices and better the value. You can buy 3 for 2. You can buy you can buy 2 for 3. Sorry, other way around. Whoopsie. They're all the time are vying for top dog, all the time trying to get you their store. Now the technological advancement, innovation. It's all about the cards. It's all about digital. It's all about who they are partnering with on the outside. Are they with Discovery? Which other medical aids are they partnering with? The technological advancement, meaning you don't have as long to wait in the queue. I know Dis-Chem now, if you give them a script, they phone you a week before your script is due and they say, can I prepare your script for you, please? Can I go over what's coming? Can I prepare it to be ready at such a store? They then send you an SMS to say it's processing. They then send you an SMS saying it's ready. If you don't go in 3 days, they'll phone you and say, ma'am, your script is ready for you to collection at X store. Technologically, they are moving faster, faster, faster. You can book yourself to see the nurses online, almost like what you would do to go and book in a lot of the general practitioners, and they're working in those big networks that they're in. Innovation, they're certainly thinking out the box. They're thinking how they're going to get you in that store. How are you going to become a loyal customer? Whether it's cards and points and generous give backs and whatever. And Dis-Chem, I'm telling you now, is still winning on even point your cashbacks. Those cashbacks are coming at a faster rate. And I can see the difference between using both cards, because often I do this. I play the game of watching them and how they are taking it. And I watch their social media. I watch what people say about them all the time. Keep watching. And this is what I want you to do. You need to start watching your customers. Like I watch a lot of people all the time. just for fun. I like to see what they're up to. Now, this is normally activity that we do together in a room, pen and paper in hand. And I want to explain to you the difference between features and benefits. So, no, I'm going to leave that for just now. Identify your company's vulnerabilities. So important. When you know what their weaknesses are, that's when you find your opportunity. When you know where the weaknesses are within your competitors, you find opportunity. That's when you go in like that little Pac-Man. Those that are in my age group, they know what that Pac-Man was. That we used to have those incredible screens. I don't even know what they're called anymore, but those big things we used to play on. We never had all these modern gadgets back in my time. Right, current competitors in your industry. Who are they? Write them down. Areas where your company might be vulnerable to price wars. Very, very important. Know it, understand it, and start preparing so you don't get that mat pulled under your feet. Because if others are watching you the way you're watching them, they're going to be able to see your weak spots or where they've got a way in, and they can outsmart and outwit and I feel like I'm doing Survivor here, but they can basically capture and take your customers from you. And they are looking, is it in price? Where can they add on a sweetener? What can they do? Can they offer a special bulk, whatever they're going to do? What can they do to whip your customers from you too? All right, so potential ways competitors might undercut you or differentiate more effectively. Think about it. What are the ways that your competitors might undercut and differentiate their product for yours, that their product looks better than yours? So this is something you need to have a look at and start noting down the areas. When you finish this, I'd like you to go and discuss it with your colleagues, with your managers, with whoever you've got around you, even at home. Discuss it. If you shop talk at home, do it. Discuss key findings from this activity with a few people around you and share your insights. It's really important. So it's very important now to take these things and to start mastering them. So you are watch your competitors. Every morning when I get up in the morning, I'm watching all the time in the industry who's doing what. Like I'm in the facilitation training area. I watch what other facilitators and trainers are doing. I watch what the companies that I want to work with, who are they using and what way can I get near them? And we've always got to be upping our game. We've always got to be polishing and smoothing ourselves and perfecting ourselves, because we're never really masters of anything. We're just always on the road, the journey towards mastery. And that's what's really important. Stay humble and stay a student for life. So look at this activity, your key findings. What did you find with your competitors, like I did earlier with Clicks and Discount? What can you take away from this session? Now, strategies for navigating price wars. Like I said to you first, I just want to anyone that's confused about features and benefits. Confused? Say yes. Anyone? Yes, yes. All right. Features. What product or service, what the product or service is, and the functions of that product or service. The benefits. Value provided to the customer. What is the value that's being provided? The why behind buying the product, while the features refers to the what. So we have the benefits referring to the why, and the features referring to the what. And what is most important? The why. The why are they buying, and the value, what they need. You sell them what they want, but you actually are giving them what they need. And that is what, if you go back and in my sessions before, mastering the sales call, know your customer, you will have gone back through all of these sessions about drilling down to what does your customer need? What is the solution that you can provide? What is the pain? What is the issue? What is the challenge? And that is where you become formidable. So a feature may be a headache tablet to alleviate pain. I got a headache. But what is the benefit? What is the benefit? Because I want to go out and I want to have fun tonight. I don't want to have a headache. So it's not just the headache. It's the benefit of living a happier, pain-free life. If it works, and it gives me a longer-term solution. So that is the difference between your benefits and your features. Your feature, if you go read the box of a pharmacy or drugs, or you read what the companies often put on their websites, they'll put out there the features of a product. It's so many kilowatts. It's this, it's that. It comes in a package with 5. It's got titanium plating. It's a titanium covering. It's got whatever it might be. The suture individual wrapped, whatever it is, whatever. We're not going to go through all these things, but that is your features, the real things. But the benefit, you can do it faster. You can close a wound in half the amount of time as previously ever done. These are the things that sell it. The benefit. What is the benefit to that end user? The real benefit. What is it that makes you stand out, and you're not just another product? You are your customer, your doctor, your pharmacy, whatever it is buying from you, just knows they need you, and they need your product because they don't like to have the pain and the irritation, the challenges they face with what they are dealing with, what they are buying now. And they want to do things more effectively, seamlessly, faster, better, a better experience. It's all about the experience that your doctors want. So, strategic responses to price wars. Focus on differentiation, the brand, quality, and service. The brand, if you're Nike, it's Nike. I don't want to give medical brands because people might get really cross with me, but there really are brands out there, right? Some brands have very, very big names, and we know what those brands are. The Medtronics, the Strikers, the brands that the J&Js, the big brands with the big names, they're out there. The ones that are screaming from the hilltops, those are the big brands. The ones that haven't got distributors inside South Africa, but they actually would be like, they have an office, they have representation in the actual country. Those are often the brands that hum, and they've got big budgets and marketing budgets. Those are the big ones you have to work against, that really are aggressive out there. The quality of the product, quality. And we know there's certain countries that people go, I don't want that kind of product because I do not trust products from that country. So everything's about quality. You've got to show your customer the quality in the product that you have. Case studies, whatever they are, show how, leave trials, give them samples, go to tea rooms, be in a theater, do drug trials, whatever you're going to do. Quality, show them it, prove it that your product is, build up trust. People buy from people they trust, and products they trust, and companies they trust. And your service, make sure your service is mwah, because people are buying all the time from others and people let them down. And when your competitor lets the ball drop, you're there and you show them that your service completely outdoes any other person out there. Service, after sales service, backup, make sure that you carry on that communication, you keep that relationship warm, and you deliver with excellence. That's what it comes down to. The next point is consider value-based pricing. Value-based pricing. That means sell the benefits. How's it going to be, how's it going to make their life better, the experience better in using your product? Not just the features. It's boring. Everybody's got features, but what makes you stand out comes out in the benefits, like we did before. Discounts, bundling, specials, persuasion tactics, scarcity, likability. Those persuasion tactics coming into this particular part. And develop customer loyalty programs to retain your customers. Build relationships, because people buy from people they trust and like. No matter what, people buy from people. So make sure that your program, your loyalty programs, if you can, however you do that, whether you've got special VIP, whatever you do, when you go to conferences, maybe you got a VIP area tent, you give them tickets to go to a special area to have a meal, whatever. I know in the medical world, there's all these new laws and whatever we can't do. But talking to the greatest sales, we have to think like the Clicks and Discount. They've got the cards, they've got the loyalty programs, they've got all of that. They've got you hooked. whether you like it or not, if you're buying from them and you're on a loyalty program, you're going to be getting SMSs, you're going to be getting WhatsApps, you're going to be getting emails. Sorry for you. You're hooked. You're part of it. You've been baited. So the main part of it is you build up loyalty programs and you keep your customers close to you. Sending out relevant data, relevant case studies, relevant information, new product launches, conferences you're going to be at, journals that where your products and the company's been highlighted. Wherever that is, you're holding a function, you're holding an event, you're bringing out whatever you're doing. It's really important to let your customers know about what you're doing. Keep them close. And whether that's by email shots is a bit old for me. A lot of people are going more the social media side. Some people are doing LinkedIn with LinkedIn newsletters coming in. That's working pretty well. We see even some companies are still doing the Facebook groups and keeping their customers nice and cuddly and warm with them. However you do it, just make sure that you are keeping those relationships warm and people close to you at all times, your customers, and away from your competitors. Now, the final activity, it's time to do a personal action plan. Write down 3 concrete actions you will take within your business to succeed. And we're going to just make it in a price war. Write down 3 concrete actions you will take within your business to succeed in a price war. Who's the competitor? What we did before. And what 3 things can you do to stop the war hurting you, taking your clients? You must keep watching, keep listening. Don't let your competitor out of sight what they're doing, but never speak about them in the marketplace. Don't give them free advertising. Keep in your lane, your track, your focus, but you always watch them. You never, ever can be sleepy. Like a buck that's out in South Africa, all the game reserves we have, that buck never, ever stops watching. Why? Because predators are everywhere. It's the same in sales. That buck, even though drinking out the water, senses, ears, eyes are always alert to what's going on. Now, these particular 3 concrete actions that you're going to take can either be strategy in your own business, and a strategy against your competitors, and a strategy with your customers in mind. It can be operational, so that's the service, your operational side of things, or customer related. So think about strategic or operational, customer related, 3 concrete action steps you are going to take to make sure that you can navigate through price wars more effectively. I always am on top of this game, and this is something that I love. For those that want more in the session, you've got to book the live session with me for the 1 hour when we take this thing, breakout rooms all over, role play, feedback sessions, discussions, whatever you've got to do, and then major reflection sessions, that this is something that you sink into you immerse yourself into this training, and you come out way more confident when it comes to price wars. And there we have it. That's the end of the 4th session on sales mastery. First session, it was on mastering the sales call. Second session, and I forgot about know your customer. Third session, product wars. 4th session, price wars. It's a complete package. It was a perfect training for those who were live. Well done to you. For those who missed it, you are always here. It's not going to go away. And here you have the content given to you, the content part for you to go over. Now, the webinar is available on YouTube on the Growth Catalyst. That is my company, as you can see. And then on www.expertrec.co.za with the enrollment key, Dare to Thrive, as you have here. And here's how to find us, the Growth Catalyst or Expert Rep. In front of you, the 2 email addresses right above my head over here. And then for more CPD opportunities, you know how to contact and make contact going ahead. And really, that is the end of that for now. Conclusion of those 4 sessions, and what an amazing journey it has been. That was over 2 months, because it was every second week. And that's really enough for me for today until I come up with the next strategy and watch the space about what I do next. Something really good is coming in the next week or 2. And for now, all I can say is dare to thrive. Go and shake those trees because you can. Keep well.